I haven't updated this in a long time. But first, a recap of the previous year. I left for school and met an incredible man. He understood how difficult my family situation was, so he respected my wishes to avoid them. They took my phone while I was sleeping before I left for school. They claimed that all they put on it was Life 360, but I didn't believe them, so I performed a general sweep of my phone after I left the house. I found a few weird apps, so I disabled those but left Life 360 on because my parents were threatening to cut my college fund if I didn't keep that. They gave me some rules as well. Had to keep the app on at all times and had to ask for permission to leave campus. The stated reason for that was that if I got kidnapped, they'll know it wasn't me driving off. I found out the hard way that the app gives notifications when I drive, cause my Jnmom called me in a tizzy when I drove a friend of mine to class, on campus. They also made a rule that I had to call them every morning and every evening. I was talking to them more than I was at home. Absolutely obnoxious. Some weird things started to happen. My mom was alluding to seeing things on my Insta and in my camera roll. I thought she had signed into my account, so I made a new one and texted people there. In November, I was a little late to calling her one night. It was 9:30 her time. My exam got at 10 p.m. and I had to eat dinner and get back. So she accidentally opened an app that was taking screenshots of my cell phone without my consent. Through this, she found out about my guy friend. We started dating in September 2021, and this all happened November 2020. At this time, he and I were just friends. My mom and dad called and told me they were coming up that weekend and pulling me out of school. I told them they were not allowed on campus due to COVID policies, but they did not care. I immediately started working with my campus security and student affairs to figure out what to do. They gave my parents the ultimatum: if they came up, they will be escorted off. Regardless, my dad broke into my dorm under the guise of a worried parent thinking their daughter was about to kill herself. He even called the school numerous times to have them out me on suicide watch. Needless to say, I was fine. Come winter break, my parents manipulated me into coming home, promising me they would change. They got worse and would not let me leave my house unsupervised at all. My mental health had never been worse, but they did not care. They also forced me to come out of the closet and outed me to the rest of my family. On some miracle, they let me go back to school in the spring. My dad decided to pick a fight with me the night I left and sexually abused me in a hotel. I did not use my phone at all except when calling my parents because of how scared I was. I knew this was dangerous, but my anxiety was just so bad. At one point, I needed to go to Walmart, but because of how terrible my anxiety was, I downloaded an app to fake my location so I could go without stress. My parents pinged me through cell service and called me to demand where I went. I told them the truth, but they wouldn't believe me. Apparently they are not that anxiety-inducing. 2 weeks later, my mom and grandparents came up to visit me. My grandmother has cancer, so I only agreed to see my mom because of her. I put precautions in place so that if I get kidnapped by her, my friends knew my location and to call the police. The night was coming to an end, so my mother dropped my grandparents at the hotel and told me she would take me back to my room. She did not. She forced me to talk to my dad for hours, and when they did not get the answers they liked, he had her hold me captive in a hotel room. She physically restrained me to where I could not get out, and the two of them verbally and physically abused me for hours before the police arrived. I did not press charges because I have brothers at home. And that was that. I am never speaking to either of my parents again. They have proven that they will not change, and frankly, my life hasn't been better. My now BF and I are so happy together. His family is wonderful to me, and I will finally get to see them in person soon. I got a job that pays me well and feeds me so I don't have to pay for food. School is going well. I'm taking a break this quarter for my mental and financial health, but I've learned to accept that. All this to say, life is looking up for me and I'm so happy. Thank you all you lovely ladies for all the words of advice and encouragement you have given me since I was 17. I'm now 19 and free. Wishing you all the best with your jnmoms and families. TLDR, my parents illegally downloaded spyware on my phone and kidnapped me out of love. I'm now in the happily ever after part, entangled, surrounded by people who love and care for me. Edit. A lot of people are asking about why I didn't press charges. One of my brothers is 18 and the other is almost 17. I spoke to professionals and they agreed that calling CPS would not be wise because of their age. The almost 17-year-old is the golden child, so calling CPS really only messes with his chances for college money. He never experienced abuse of any kind, so unless he contacts me saying he needs out, I told not to pull the trigger. Did you like this Reddit before bed story? Subscribe for more vids like this.